The last question I've set up on the division questions, so remember the format of these was just very straightforward. This last one is just a word problem with division in it, and I've put what the correct answer is. So it's just a question about sweets and the number of children, and I've given people a text field to answer in. One of the changes you can do, I mean, I don't know how useful this is because the error message that pops up if you get it wrong doesn't make sense to even adults, let alone children, is under advanced for that particular question. What I've said is I want to limit the answers that people can give to that question. And I've said I only want a number typed in and I want a whole number typed in. So I've selected integer. And then I've just clicked on save for that question. And the other change I've made to the whole test, if we just go to divide by and under feedback, so I want feedback after the test has been completed straight away actually. So in fact, the homework is already marked by the time they've done it. I want the correct answers to display. I don't want any of these other things to display because I'm not giving marks for the homework. And again, I might have a message which says, or completed division homework or something like that. So whatever message you want to give, and obviously we just save that. So those are the only kind of settings that I've made. And then it gives you the option here, once you've done that, to take the test. So I just want to show you what happens when, for example, you kind of don't do what the test is expecting. So you can't see my scroll bar, but I will be using it to scroll down. So this first one I'll answer correctly. Anything with a star next to it means it's a mandatory question. So I'm going to miss this one out and see what happens. So I'll answer that one incorrectly, just so we can see what the result of our changes, etc. I'll do that, and then this is also a mandatory question. So I've got some incorrect and some correct, and this one is not a mandatory question, so I can submit my answer now. But it says that I need to answer all the questions marked with that little asterisk. So I have to say OK and then choose an answer for that particular one before I can submit it. So you can't miss any of the questions out if they're mandatory, and that's what it gives you as a... And that's my pop-up box coming up. Now, one more thing I just want to show you, because this test you can submit as and I just want to show you what the answers look like. So the answers are given in green. So it shows you what you put in and what the correct one is in green. And because we took the max min scores off, it doesn't have 0, 0 next to it. So that was the correct one there, that was the correct one there. And even though I didn't do the last question here, what we typed in the answer suggestion appears here. So it's already saying how you would go about solving that particular question. And that's very handy actually, that the computer does that automatically. Okay, now here's a very weird thing that should not be happening. So now I'm here and it gives me an option. So if I just show you what my screen looks like, so if I scroll down, it gives me an option here to go back, okay, because I'm a teacher and I've previewed the question, and I come back here and there are no questions whatsoever showing on my page, which obviously I've set those questions up, so I'm in a complete panic now. So to get back to that, I don't know which other way to get back to it, is if you use the back button on your browser. And that was the last message that came up, and keep using the back button, and that was the other last message that came up. So basically I want to get the back button up so that I can see all of the questions. So when was the last time? So there we go, I can see all of the questions now, and I'm going to click on save, and I have no idea why this happens. Okay, so let me just make sure that it actually shows. and it doesn't show, so I've got to keep going back. I've got to go beyond this particular screen, and I think even further back than this one. So I'm just, actually the feedback one, this might be the best one, so let me just do save here. Okay,